The metaverse will be the successor to the mobile internet. We'll be able to feel present, like we're right there with people, no matter how far apart we actually are.
This was the idea of Mark Zuckerberg, but the metaverse was always a bet against the odds. This is the story why the metaverse failed. Reason number one, the quality was a disaster. When people finally put on the headset, expectations collapsed almost instantly. The worlds looked empty. The graphics felt unfinished. Characters moved like lifeless avatars instead of real people. This was supposed to be the future of the internet, but it looked worse than video games people had been playing for years. Once that gap between promise and reality became obvious, people didn't get angry. They simply stopped coming back. Reason number two, the real problem wasn't the technology, it was the human behind it. People don't reject digital experiences, they use them every single day. Phones, apps, social media, streaming, all of it already fits naturally into their lives. And that's exactly where the metaverse struggled. It didn't arrive as something people were missing. It arrived as something they were asked to move into. The metaverse wasn't an addition, it was a replacement. It asked people to leave behind tools that already worked. Simple screens, familiar platforms, effortless access, and trade them for headsets, avatars, and artificial spaces that demanded time and effort. But most people weren't looking for another digital layer. They were already surrounded by screens. What they wanted was the opposite. They wanted real experiences, real places, real emotions, adventure that feels earned, connection that feels human, moments that exist beyond a device. The metaverse promised immersion, but what people really wanted was meaning. People didn't reject the metaverse. They simply didn't need it. Reason three, the outside was moving at lightning speed. Artificial intelligence was exploding in ways that were hard to imagine just a few years ago. Mobile platforms became more than just devices. They became the primary stage for how people connect, create, and consume. The creator economy, fueled by new tools and platforms, was growing exponentially, giving individuals power and influence that used to belong only to corporations. And then it hit. The metaverse, once the shining promise of the future, suddenly felt irrelevant, expensive, slow. The market had already made its choice, faster and perhaps more decisively than Meta could have imagined. While billions were being invested in virtual worlds that didn't yet exist, the real wave of innovation was happening somewhere else, in AI that can think and create, in mobile experiences that fit seamlessly into our daily lives, in a global economy of creators who are shaping culture and commerce at the speed of a tweet or a TikTok. Meta was chasing a vision of tomorrow, but the world had already moved. People weren't waiting for the metaverse. They were building the future right now, in ways that were faster, more accessible, and more impactful. Startups, creators, and even large companies were pivoting to where attention, value, and influence were actually flowing. Yet here's the most important truth. The future didn't disappear. It didn't vanish because Meta stumbled, or because the metaverse didn't deliver. It simply moved somewhere else. To AI, to mobile-first experiences, to the creator-driven platforms that are redefining influence, culture, and commerce. Meta may have been betting on one vision of the future, but the world had already chosen another, a future that is faster, more decentralized, and full of opportunity. The lesson is clear: the market decides, often faster than even the biggest players can react. And the opportunities, they are waiting for those who can see where the future has moved. Can it be rebuilt? What is your opinion on it? Write in the comments below and see you next time.